What am I holding in my hand? A crucifix, very good. And what's the difference between a crucifix and a cross? Okay, let's see someone else.
That there's Jesus on it.
Very good, that there is Jesus on it. Who are you guys? Are you new? No? What grade are you in? You're TK? Oh, wow. Well, welcome. That's your first time coming to weekday mass, right? Was glad to have you. Okay, so see, if we look at it this way, this is a cross, but when Jesus is on it, we call it a crucifix. Now, how do you feel when you look at the crucifix? Yes, wait.
You feel happy because you love Jesus?
You feel happy because you like Jesus? Anybody feels differently? Let's come over here.
You should feel happy.
You should feel happy.
Sometimes you might feel sad that he got crucified.
Okay. Sometimes you can feel sad because he got crucified. So anybody feel something beside happy or sad?
You can feel disappointed that Jesus got crucified, but then you can feel happy when he got risen.
Very good. Very good question. Let me tell you a story of Charlie. Charlie was a 5-year-old boy, and one day his mom wanted to go run some errands, so she took Charlie with her. And when they went into, as they were doing their errands, his mom told them, I want to stop in the church for a little bit to pray. So when they entered the church, let me put this here. They went and sat in the pew like you're sitting in the pew, and his mom started to pray, and she noticed that little by little Charlie was moving closer to her, that he was almost squishing himself next to her. And she said, honey, what's wrong? And Charlie said, I don't like to be here. And she said, why? And he said, because I don't like to see Jesus on the cross. So in their church, they had a big crucifix that hang over where the altar is. It was bigger than myself. So his mom kind of thought for a little bit, then she said, okay, I want you to stand up and look at me. And she asked him, Charlie, do you love me? He goes, yes. She said, how much do you love me? And he said, I don't know. She said, do you love me this much? He said, no. She said, well, you love me more or less? He said, more. She goes, do you love me this much? He said, no, more. This much? More. He said, well, show me how much you love me. And he said, I love you this much. What do I look like when I have my arms like this? Exactly. So when we look at the cross, like some of you said, it's not to make us sad, it's to remind us how much God loves us. Not this much, or this much, or this much, all the possible much he can love. That's why we have crucifixes sometimes in your classrooms, at home, sometimes like I wear one, and in every church we have a crucifix. Not to be sad, not to remember that Jesus died for us because we are bad, but to always remember how much God loves us. And like some of you said, yes, we might feel sad for Jesus, but remember, Jesus did not stay on the cross, right? God brought him back to life because he was obedient to his Father and did what his Father asked him to do. If you remember when we began Lent, we talked about two things that start with L.
Love and listen.
Love and listen. And the crucifix reminds us of that, the love, that Jesus loved us so much and that he listened to his Father and was obedient to him, and that's why God raised him up. So what we can learn from this is we too have to listen to our parents, to our teachers, to one another, right? And we have to love. And maybe we can't love this much yet, but little by little, with the help of Jesus, we can love more and more and more. And in few weeks, you will be receiving Jesus in the Eucharist, right? And that's how he can help you to grow in your love so you can love perfectly as he loved us.